Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Boom, and we're live. What's happening, beautiful people? How is everyone doing? Let me know how you're doing in the comments box below. For the ones of you that don't know me, my name is Andrew, and for the last 10 years, I've worked in many retail and institutional Forex brokerages in Europe. Join me in this fantastic journey and find out the secret corners of Forex trading from top industry specialists. Learn what most Forex brokers don't want you to know by watching our daily broadcasts. And if you like what you see, guys, remember to like, share, subscribe, and support us on our YouTube channel in delivering more great content. Now, today I have a very, very good guest that will join us in a couple of minutes. My guest for today and I have a very, very similar story, guys. For the last 9 years, he worked for a few big liquidity providers in the banking industry until he realized that his inner voice was telling him to do something else. After many years of talking numbers and spreadsheets, he discovered that his real passion was creating something that was never seen before. I'll give you exactly 30 seconds to absolutely smash that subscribe button, guys. And then we're coming back with my guest for today. Right, guys, and we're back. Ladies, gentlemen, traders, please help me welcome the man that created one of the best-sold finance magazines of the 21st century, the founder and CEO of Game Changers magazine, Paul Orford. How are you, Paul? Good afternoon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Get closer to the microphone so we make sure we have, wait, hold on a minute. Let me check the microphone. Right. Once again, guys, Paul Orford. Welcome, Paul. You were muted a second ago. I'm sorry. I apologize. Right.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of people who would like that, I think. But
no.
The first.
Thank you very much for accepting the challenge, first of all.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
How is 2021 for you, and how is 2021 for Game Changers magazine?
Well, 2020, let's face it, was a completely weird year with one thing and another. I won't go down the COVID route, but man, I've been sat at home for a year working, and first of all, it's a bit of fun, but then you're just like, you do miss that human interaction of going to the office every day and seeing people. So apart from that, the magazine has kind of gone from strength to strength. We've kind of evolved it by developing the lifestyle section, which the feedback and the views, etc., because we're all after views and things. It's been very, very strong. So that's pretty much it.
Right. I got to congratulate you. You're doing a very, very good job. I've been following you since you started the magazine.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're doing amazing so far. Why did you start Game Changers, Paul?
Well, more out of necessity than an idea of developing my own narrative. I worked for companies. I always enjoyed working for smaller ones where your results were seen straight away rather working for a bigger brand. However, it means budgets are a lot tighter, so there was really no marketing. So I had a way, I was thinking, okay, how can we get in front of these CEOs without the usual phone call of, okay, I'm working for a liquidity provider. We made it a bit different to say, we work for a magazine, can we speak, You built rapport with them, and then we started talking about liquidity, so on and so forth. They tested the price feed, and it's a roundabout way essentially of selling the liquidity.
I'm with you. How long did it take you to create Game Changers, from the business plan to the first edition?
Not very long, actually. I just said I'm just going to do it and just figure it out on the way. There was no, if I'm honest, there was no business plan. I just had this idea one day of, I'm going to make a magazine. Had an awesome designer work with me at that time called Carolina. We just kind of said, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Let's just do it. Let's see what happens. Luckily, I had a great CEO where I was working at the time with A&B Prime, Gabriel Estilas, who encouraged me 100% to do it. So that was good to have that backing, to not think you're mad when you have an idea and you're like, well, why isn't anybody else doing this? And then he's like, no, it's a good idea. Just
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's just like anything in life. You just got to execute the plan. Everybody's got a great idea. Everyone has 10 great ideas a day. But how many people actually do it?
Correct. And how long did it take? 6 months, 1 year from the business plan, from the project?
Well, look, this is quite weird, right? Because I never done it for the money. I'd done it to build the network. All right. And the way I thought, if you do a good enough job, you deliver high enough quality, naturally people are going to pay for it, and they do it. What makes money, but it's done more for passion and building the network, because I have other interests as well, such as banking and things like that, where the network kind of feeds itself in a way. So you get to meet a lot of CEOs that if you do have a banking product, for example, you can speak to them about it because, you've got their number, or you've built that relationship already, where you're not going to come to them with some completely mad idea. You're going to come to them with something that fits their product or their service, which is going to help.
Fair enough. Now, if you could turn back time, would you do it again?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Wouldn't change a thing.
Would you encourage more people to do that, Paul? To leave their day job and open their own company?
I would encourage people this day and age to develop their own narrative when it comes to marketing, to build their own personal brand, because that's what it's all about this day with social media, etc. Getting them to leave their job straight away, no. I'd get them to have a plan where they save enough money for a year, where if nothing happened, you didn't make 1 penny, you can still pay your bills, etc. There's a term which I found quite good, actually. It's called an intrapreneur rather than an entrepreneur, where you can kind of do both. You can work and also do this at nighttime. Because free time is the best. Like between 6 and 12, you have a tremendous amount of time at home if you don't have kids or something like that. Or if you have kids, maybe from 10 till 12. You just sit there and focus a couple of hours a day on achieving this, then you'll get there.
Right. Yes. Very well said. Now, we broke the ice. Let's get into a more complicated topic. Investments. I know you work for big liquidity firms in the last 10 years at an institutional level. Yeah. Do you miss it, first of all?
Not particularly. I miss the people I worked with, because they're good. I still see them on a regular basis. The job has changed a lot in the last 5 years, where it's quite a select amount of people who would do it. Not to say it should have stayed a clique, but then everybody become a prime of prime, and it just disaster.
And what would you say was the most important lesson you've learned in those years in the financial industry?
Positive attitude. Always, like every day, you just got to do it. Right? Like we all have days, and I'd say most days people wake up with I can't be bothered, and that's fair enough. But the real winners are made on the days when you can't be bothered. That's like where I'm pretty sure Cristiano Ronaldo can't be bothered most days. But he'll sit there, do the 2,000 sit-ups, play football. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with English football, but it's how David Beckham, for example, and all the people from that generation become very, very good at football. They followed Eric Cantona after the training sessions just to keep going. It's not about doing many, many hours. It's about doing the hours you do perfectly and putting it 100% in. Because any idiot can work 12 hours. But if you work 6 hours and give it 100%, you'll achieve way more than the guy just plodding through for 12.
Yeah, but in the same time, if you would pay me $10 million a month, I would do as many sit-ups as you want, as often as you want.
But how do you get to that 10 million? That's the thing.
Exactly.
People always see the end result. They don't see the days when you pulled through, and you just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. It's like, I think it's like the Instagram generation, or where we all watch Instagram. We always see that perfect end result, but you don't see the days where you started off. You don't see the days where you were struggling and thinking, oh, what's the point of this? But you kept pushing through. If you keep pushing, you'll beat 90% of people who are kind of weak-minded and say, look, I can't be bothered. I'm going to quit, or I'm going to find an excuse to do this, this, and this. So I would just say keep pushing on.
This reminds me of the Forex world, because everyone is telling you how well they're doing when they're doing well, but no one tells you how bad they're doing when they're doing bad. It's the same thing. Talking about that, do you trade yourself, Paul?
No, not particularly. There's an old English saying about if you like sausages, you never visit a sausage factory. So working in a liquidity provider, I'd never really do it.
How does your investment portfolio, because you must have some investment somewhere, how does it look like now?
Well, look, 2021 is the bull market seems to be continuing. At some point, it's going to blow because of the COVID. So much money borrowed by governments, et cetera, et cetera. You can't keep doing this. A stock market has got to implode. At some point, all of these unemployed people are not going to be able to pay tax, buy goods, et cetera, et cetera. So you've got to pay the piper at some point.
And what are you investing in? Cryptos, real estate?
Well, currently, what I would look to go in would be in the States, probably anything to do with weapons, prisons, credit cards. I mean, look, based upon what's happened before, and we're going to go into a great time of uncertainty now, which is going to cause unrest. So I would look at something like that. You're going to see people who are broke, so they're going to need to use the credit card. They're going to naturally lock up more people with civil unrest. It's a private prison, so, it kind of makes sense.
What do you think about cryptocurrencies in general, about Bitcoin, for example?
Well, it's kind of interesting. What it's done is flushed out a lot of the people who talk a lot of nonsense, because you may come across these where when it was at $2,000, for example, I've got 20 Bitcoins or whatever. When it's at 40 grand, you're like, dude, why don't you leave your job then? You kind of got like a net worth of $1 million, or like 800,000. Why don't you leave?
On paper. Well,
yeah, but look, let's say, but these are the same people who are smart enough to buy it at $100. They would tell you that story. But you've made many times of an increase in your money. Why don't you sell it out instead of staying in your support job or something like that, which, can't pay you that much, surely? Or at least cash out some. If you brought it at 1,000, it's sold for 40, you made 40 times your money. You're not saying sell it all, sell some, enjoy yourself.
Some people do sell some, and some people do buy some. We saw Elon Musk a couple of weeks ago making a big announcement that supposedly pushed Bitcoin to 40 grand.
Howard, do you think, for example, it's a bit of a scam as well? Like if the information is true that China mines 70% of it by default, they own a large chunk of it. Would they not be pumping up the price and then one day just
pump and dump? You mean?
Yeah.
Well, this is what everyone is afraid of now. Talking about cryptocurrencies in China and Bitcoin, apparently China launched its own cryptocurrency, which is called the yuan, obviously, which is supposed to compete with Bitcoin. Let's see what's going to happen. It took Bitcoin, 12 years to get where it is today. More than 12 years.
But they've got a good captive audience. And if it's state-backed, then you could use it for anything, especially with the way that their transactions are carried out via a telephone, as opposed to where we're still using fiat currency, for example. It'd be quite easy to push the price up. Would Westerners be allowed to buy this?
Yes, everyone is allowed to buy it. Yeah, they made it public and apparently everyone is allowed to buy it.
Yeah.
So
they got your data then, haven't they? It's perfect.
Right. Tell me, what's your view of 2020, of the past year? What have we learned from
I think it's shown that you can work from home. You don't need a boss sitting over you, for a lot of the things. If you wanted your business to thrive, you had to trust people, to get on with it. It showed that those who could do it with the right tools could thrive. The ones who didn't have the ability or didn't have the gumption to get off their backsides and do it at home, didn't do it. It's I think we'll have to radically look at the way people work from offices from now on. I mean, I do miss it, but maybe for a lot of the core positions, you're only going to be there 2 or 3 days a week. Because you can't say to people, okay, work for the 5 days a week. It was great before, but the profits are now up. People are more productive, way more productive. I know I certainly was. I'd start early, get everything done. When we could go to the gym, I could go there at lunchtime, come back, finish off. Felt great,
So it's working for you, working from home?
It is, but the only thing I miss is just the human relationship. Well, at the moment where we're on like the extreme lockdown, we'll call it, you do miss people in that respect. But I think if you get the balance of the two, where you just go in there for a day or two and just see people, then it's good. But it's just a weird time, where you got to send your SMS to go out and.
Yeah, I know. So this was the biggest lesson that we learned in 2020. Yeah, that.
I think human relationships, like in the actual workplace, that's changed radically. I don't think it'll ever go back. If I'm honest, it doesn't need to go back.
I know some CEOs that won't agree with this statement because they're hands-on the stuff all the time.
Yeah, but
that's
down to that's down to them. I mean, look, the good CEOs, the ones who I've worked for, they'll train people where they've got the confidence and the ability to do the job.
That's a good CEO.
If I'm sat on top of you all the time telling you how to do it, it shows that I don't have the confidence in you. I'm supposed to be a leader, not someone who's beating you with the stick. Some people are like that, but I think that's, like I say, it's more a reflection on themselves than the institution.
And you're right with that. Now, I know you interviewed a lot of people from the financial industry lately. What was the general vibe? I mean, is the financial industry going through some hard times right now? How did you feel the people in the financial industry that you interviewed?
Retail FX is booming. It'd be hard not to make money. Very hard. I mean, it's people have got nothing else to do, have they, apart from trade, watch TV, eat food. So what else are they going to do? There's huge opportunities in the markets now. You've got, like I say, Bitcoin, for example. You've got a great story there where it's going up or it's going down by massive amounts. You've got, if you're working in retention or doing whatever, you've always got a story to tell somebody. Stock markets, they've gone to an all-time high. Stakes the other day. If you can't make money in this sort of period, then
so the general vibe. Yeah, you're right. The general vibe was that the markets are booming.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it could be like the 1930s coming around the corner where we do have the massive boom in markets, and then we have many years of depression, which I think is going to happen. But the industry we're in, we look on a second by second basis. We're not looking macro of 10 years or 5 years. If we're looking at trading options over that period of time, there's a different discussion. But, for example, when you're trading online, it's literally about executing a trade in 10
It's at your fingertips and getting it right. What is your concern for this year? Do you have any concerns about 2021?
Well, they can't keep this lockdown going on.
No, it's probably going to end in a month or so.
It's about how fast they can get the injection out to everyone. Because if you look at a country like this, okay, it's great because we're an island. However, it was dependent upon tourism.
Yeah.
Okay. Just about got through this year by the skin of its teeth. You're telling me if they do that next year, there won't be civil unrest? How would they afford to pay people?
True.
It's a real. They're going to have to make some tough decisions. Whether people get one jab or we just kind of work our way through it, etc., etc. But some real tough choices are going to have to be made. I mean, this is why the people are in power. But you've got to make that calculus of, okay, how many people are going to die of this, and this compared to this? I mean, look, we drive on Cyprus roads, so we deal with death every day. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So,
What are Game Changers Magazine plans for 2021?
Kind of keep going. It always just comes from an idea. We never have a plan.
You're just grinding,
it's kind of ad hoc. Where, for example, the lifestyle section, someone come up with that idea, so let's give it a shot. People liked it. As long as you're getting ideas from people, it just takes one good idea. I don't care if people give you 50,000 insane ideas, because there'll be one good idea in there. Give it a try. You never know. Because what I think could be a bad idea, the market could think completely differently.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier on, that we have a lot of views for some videos that we didn't put a lot of effort into.
Yeah.
And on the videos that we try to put a lot of effort into, the views are not. So the market is...
I think that's the problem, though. When you try and second guess the view in public and you think, okay, this title will get people in or this subject will get people in, it doesn't often work out that way. It's just when you talk about the weirdest subjects, sometimes I find is
that's conversations. That's when you get the most number of views. Right. Now, if our viewers want to get in touch with you, Paul, what's the best way for them to do so?
LinkedIn, always the best way is LinkedIn. Just
LinkedIn,
PM me. Yeah, it's the quickest and easiest.
Paul Offord on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
All right. Paul, thank you ever so much for being with us today. Pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. Okay, I told you I've been following you since you started the magazine. I knew about the project a long time ago, and I'm very happy to see it came out as you wanted it to.
Lovely. Cheers, Andrew.
All right. Right, guys, we're going to be coming back in a minute or two with the U.S. markets open, guys. So stay tuned. We're coming back live in a few minutes.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Boom, and we're live once again. What's happening, beautiful people? Good morning, America. Good afternoon, Europe, and welcome everyone to our live stream. How is everyone doing this afternoon? Let me know how you're doing, guys, in the comments box below. And please remember to like, share, subscribe, and support us in delivering more great content. It helps us a lot in delivering more great content, guys, and it doesn't cost you anything. If anything, it might even benefit you. So click that subscribe button. Now, let's get down to business and see what is happening in the markets today, Wednesday, 20th of January, 2021. U.S. futures push higher ahead of Joe Biden's inauguration today at 1700 hours GMT, with the security forces remaining on high alert. Netflix earning numbers send the stock higher, with the streaming giant reporting over 37 million subscribers until December 2020. Procter & Gamble, Morgan Stanley and United Airlines are due to report the fourth quarter earnings today. Crude oil futures traded higher today, and Bitcoin, guys, tanks aiming for the 34,000 mark this afternoon. Welcome to the U.S. trading session, everyone. Right, beautiful people, and we're back. Let's have a quick look at the economic calendar, guys. We are exactly 7 minutes away from the U.S. markets open, and big things are announced to happen today. So let's have a quick look at the economic calendar, see how we started the day, guys. Nice and early in the morning, we had a series of announcements from UK, guys, with the GBP, with the pound, with the GBP pushing higher today. Consumer price index year-over-year and monthly was announced, as well as the producer price index, and all three of them came out green, above consensus expectations. Now, what followed after? We had the German producer price index announced at 9 o'clock in the same time, guys, with the announcements from UK. We had the core CPI and the CPI monthly on the South African rand, followed by the core CPI in the Eurozone, guys. A few minutes ago, we had the core CPI and the interest rate decision on the Canadian dollar. And in 2 hours from now, we're going to have the new US-elect president, Joe Biden, holding his first press conference as the 46th American president. Now, we're going to have, from Bank of England, we're going to have Governor Bailey holding a press conference at 1900 hours GMT +2, an interest rate decision from Brazil just 1 hour before midnight. And half an hour before midnight, guys, we're going to have the API weekly crude oil stock. Big announcement. The crude oil inventories that are usually announced on Wednesday are delayed 1 day due to the public holiday that was in the States on Monday with Martin Luther King Day. Now, let's have a quick look and see what are the top 5 things to know in the markets today, guys, and then we move on to the charts of the day and the signals of the day. So, number 1 on the board, and probably the most important topic today, Hashtag 46. Joe Biden will be sworn in as the 46th president of the United States, ending a 4-year revolt by the country against the world that it created after the World War II and consolidated after the collapse of the Soviet Union. The inauguration will be overshadowed by a high security presence aimed at counteracting any repeat of the violence instigated by Trump supporters in their attempts to force Congress to overturn the result of the election in November. It will also be marked by the absence of the crowd's usual four inaugurations due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The U.S. death toll, guys, from COVID-19 reached 400,000 deaths yesterday. While the current surge in infections appears to have peaked, it is on course to top the number of U.S. deaths in the World War II by the end of the month. Wow. Number 2 on the board, guys. We are in the middle of the earnings season. Netflix soars after blowout quarter. Netflix, the streaming giant, cemented its position as one of the biggest winners from the pandemic as the net addition of over 37 million subscribers over the year pushed its overall subscriber base above 200 million users by the end of December. Netflix stock rose over 12% in after-hours trading on the news, lifted especially by the detail that its cash flow now covers its spending needs. Revenue rose by some 20% from a year earlier, beating expectations, although net profit dipped below forecasts. The company added 8.5 million subscribers in the last quarter alone, cashing in on a string of successful new series, including The Queen's Gambit, the latest series of The Crown, and the French series Lupin. Number 3 on the board, guys, U.S. stocks set to open higher with Procter & Gamble United earnings eyed. The earnings season continues today with a broad cross-section of reports. United Health got the ball rolling with the modest beat on both top and bottom lines, while the focus is likely to be on consumer giant Procter & Gamble company, which, like Netflix, has benefited from shifting consumer spending patterns over the last year. There will be also reports from pipeline operator Kinder Morgan, Morgan Stanley, US Bancorp, and United Airlines, guys. Big movements today on the U.S. stock markets. Number 4 on the board, guys. Jack Ma reappears and Alibaba ADRs shoot higher. Alibaba founder Jack Ma made his first public appearance since a dispute with Chinese regulators forced him to abandon his plans to float his giant financial services empire, A&T Group. The billionaire met 100 rural teachers in China via a video meeting today, as part of his charity initiatives, local government media reported. Well done, Jack Ma. Number 5 on the board, guys. What was supposed to be the crude oil inventories today? We have the API inventories due with central banks stand pat. China Central Bank left its prime loan rate unchanged at 3.85% as expected. The Bank of Canada left its rate unchanged at positive 0.25% when its policy making board meets later in the day. Now, this is what is happening basically on the markets, guys. I'll tell you what, I'll take a 30-second break to catch my breath, and then we're coming back live with the charts of the day and the signals of the day. Stay tuned.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Keys and then I'll sleep. Yay! How are you guys? So we're back with the charts of the day, guys. We're going to start with crude oil on a 60-minute chart, as you got used to by now. $53.66 for oil this afternoon after an impressive rally on the Asian as well as the European trading session. The RSI stochastic are somewhere up in the overbought levels, guys. Let's see what's going to happen. We might see a tiny correction. We might see a retest of that 50 moving average, or why not that 200 MA to the downside at 54.24. Let's see how the APIs will come out just half an hour ahead of before midnight. Now we're 1 minute away from the U.S. markets open, guys. We're going to see a bit of movement at the markets open today. Meanwhile, we're looking at Euro USD, the most traded, the most liquid currency pair in the world. 120.99 for the euro this afternoon after it's been dropping overnight and over the European trading session as well. 120.98 as things stand right now. If this downward movement will continue, very likely we're going to see the euro touching 120.50 to the downside. Moving on, we're looking at the pound, guys, which is currently trading at 136.64 against the US dollar. Again, pulling back after an impressive rally that we saw yesterday on the US trading session. We see a retest of that 20 MA to the downside. We might see a retest of that 50 MA to the downside, guys. But the good news is the price is well supported by that 200 moving average. Now, RSI, stochastic are pointing downwards. So we might see that retest rather sooner than later. Meanwhile, we're going to move on to the USD JPY, which has been ranging for the last 3-4 days. 103.77 this afternoon for the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. We see a sharp drop that happened 2 hours ago on the USD JPY pair. And as things stand right now, we're looking at a green candlestick, which did create a higher low. So we might see the US dollar doing fairly well this afternoon versus the Japanese yen. Meanwhile, the Aussie dollar, guys, is on the rebound. The candlesticks managed to settle above that 200 moving average, implying a bit of buying power on the Aussie dollar. 0.7734 this afternoon with the RSI stochastic very close to the overbought levels, guys. There is potential to the upside for the Aussie dollar. Now, most traders in times like this will probably aim for a 100% correction, guys. Yeah, so they're going to look at the previous high to set their take profit targets for a long position. But don't jump the gun yet. We're going to have a look at the signals provided by investing.com and see what is happening. USD CAD, on the other hand, 126.93 this afternoon with the US dollar falling below that 200 moving average versus the Canadian dollar, with the RSI and the stochastic trading at their lows very close to the oversold levels, guys. Right, potential to the downside for the USD CAD pair. If this downward movement will continue, probably traders will set their first take profit targets at 126.35 or somewhere in that region to the downside. Now, we are already 2 minutes into the US trading session, and there you go, guys. What a big gap. What a positive opening for the S&P 500. 3820.90 for the S&P this afternoon, guys. What a big gap. What a big opening. Right, let's have a quick look at the Dow Jones, which most likely opened the same. Yes, again, big gap, positive opening for the Dow as well, trading at 31,011 this afternoon. Very close to new record highs, guys. The RSI is pointing upwards. We might see a good rally on the markets today. Moving on, we're looking at the US dollar index, guys, which is currently trading at 90.56 on a 60-minute chart, with the candlesticks settling above that 200 MA, again implying a bit of buying power on the US dollar index. We might see the US dollar index trading as high as 90.91, guys. Very, very likely that's where traders will set their first take profit targets to the upside. But what do we know, guys? If the US dollar index goes up, what happens with gold futures? There we go. They should go in the opposite direction. We see a spike in gold futures now after the US Open, guys. 1861.40 for the gold futures. Now, this is the proof. Yeah, even though the US dollar index and the gold have a negative correlation most times, guys, and they move in opposite directions on very rare occasions, like today, they're going to move in the same direction, guys. So, 1859.95, 1860 for gold futures this afternoon. Very good movement. Let's see what's going to happen. We're only 3 hours away from the 46th official president of the United States holding his first press conference as the 46th president. So the markets might go a bit wild. Now, Brent oil futures, guys, fantastic rally. 56.53 for Brent oil futures for UK oil or the European oil this afternoon, guys, with again with potential to the downside. Okay, if this upward movement will continue, we're gonna see very likely oil trading as high as 57.35, guys. And now, everyone's favorite, guys, Bitcoin is currently trading at $35,000 after tanking overnight and shedding about $2,000, guys, since yesterday. Exactly what I was telling you about yesterday, how volatile this crypto asset can be, how volatile cryptocurrencies can be. That's why it's not suitable for very small trading accounts, guys, or for people with no knowledge of the matter. Now, in the same time, Ethereum is pulling back a bit, $1,312 this afternoon and 11 cents for Ethereum. However, we saw a rebound. We saw a rejection from that 200 moving average, guys. It didn't even get the chance to touch that 200 moving average, and the price got rejected yet to the upside once again. Right, cryptocurrencies seem to be doing really, really well. Let's keep an eye on Bitcoin. Let's see what is happening with Bitcoin from now. So far, so good. It's well supported. It's been ranging for a few days, which is normal. But if Bitcoin will fall below the $35,000 mark, then keep an eye on the 31,600 guys, or who knows, maybe even lower than that. As the first take profit target, you could look at 32,549, as that's the previous low. And if that movement will continue, you might want to look at 31,864. Okay, this is on the Bitfinex exchange. On your trading platform, the price might be slightly different, okay, but not a lot. Right, RSI stochastic, when it comes to technical analysis on cryptocurrencies, again, very, very low into the oversold levels. Okay, let's see what's going to happen. What's a bit worrying is that the Bitcoin price fell below the 200 moving average. Usually when that happens, we might see a few sell positions, but it's still standing tall, 35,021 for Bitcoin. Now, let's have a quick look at the signals of the day, guys. I hope the markets managed to calm down after the open. Okay, if not, they will do so in the next half an hour, guys. So we see the euro versus the US dollar with 4 red this afternoon, 4 strong sell indications from investing.com. The pound, guys, the cable, GBP USD, again, sell and strong sell on small time frames after the opening. Strong buy on a daily chart. USD JPY, strong sell, 3 red. USD CHF, we see 4 green after the opening with strong buy recommendations, which just turned neutral. Guys, give the markets a bit of time to settle. Okay, this is the proof the markets have not settled yet. The Aussie dollar seemed to be having a strong buy, 4 green indication from investing.com versus the US dollar. The euro, guys, versus the pound, strong sell indication from investing.com. USD CAD, 4 red, strong sell. Euro JPY, strong sell. The euro is dropping sharply, guys, against all its other peers. Euro CHF, strong sell, 4 red this afternoon. 4 strong sell recommendations from investing.com. Yeah, and the pound versus the Japanese yen, 2 strong sell on low time frames. Okay, and the pound versus the CHF, only a strong buy position, followed by strong buy hourly and daily. This is what's happening with currency pairs, guys. But again, once again, don't jump the gun. From what we saw so far, Euro USD has strong sell indications. Euro GBP has strong sell indications, and Euro JPY. Okay, the euro is dropping, guys. Quick look at commodities this afternoon. Let's see what the analysts at investing.com think about commodities. Right, we're looking at gold and silver with 3 green, guys. Strong buy indication from investing.com, followed by copper with strong buy. Crude oil, WTI, and Brent oil, 4 green for oil, guys, today. Strong buy indications from investing.com. Natural gas and US wheat, only a shy strong buy on a 5-minute chart. Okay, let's see what will happen. Now, quick look at some American stocks, guys. Let's see the US stocks. Bear with me for a second. Right, ExxonMobil, which usually has a strong buy indication. We see after markets open today, 2 strong sell, 2 red for ExxonMobil as things stand right now. BHP Group, 4 green for BHP Group. Microsoft, green for Microsoft as well. Strong buy indications. Walmart, on the other hand, guys, is falling sharply with 4 red, 4 strong sell. Apple, strong buy. Procter & Gamble, strong sell. And Alphabet, guys, the ex-Google has 4 strong buy, 4 green as things stand right now. This is it. Quick look at the US indices, guys, and this is going to be it for today. Quick look at US indices. There we go, guys. This is what we like to see. A lot of green on the charts. A lot of green. All green for the US indices. NASDAQ 100, S&P 500, the Dow Jones, the big NASDAQ, and the small cap 2000, the Russell 2000. They all have 4 green, 4 strong buy indications. We might see the US markets breaking a new record today, guys, and creating a higher high. As we move towards the bottom of the chart, guys, again, we're going to have some strong buy indications, but guys, let's focus on the big boys. Okay, let's focus where the money is, and the money for today seems to be with the big boys. Right, this is it. Yeah, it's the earnings season. We just started the earnings season a few days ago. We're gonna have Procter & Gamble reporting, United Health, Bank of New York Mellon, and Kinder Morgan as well. Right, tomorrow, guys, again, we're gonna have some big names reporting with Intel, Union Pacific, IBM, okay, and Sandvik AB. These are the big boys that will report tomorrow, guys. Keep an eye on the charts, keep an eye on InstructFX, and we will bring you the latest news. This was it from my side this afternoon, guys. Until tomorrow, same time, same place. Remember to trade responsibly and may all your trades be in the money.